Yo people, welcome back to another video. As you can see, it's WWE Raw review, more Watch Rabbit teasers. Judgment Day destroys AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio. Um, JPT, aka the At a Time podcast. Um, I think he's not here yet, but he will join. I'm sure he will join very soon. It's early morning. It's like 8 p.m. for him, so I'm not going to blame him. I'm really not going to blame him for not being awake, maybe even sleeping. So if he doesn't turn up, I'm not going to blame. Um, but yeah. So make sure to like. Right, let me forgot to pull that up. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you are new to the channel, share the channel if you are already a regular viewer. Please share it. Um, we want to grow this channel. Um, all sporting fans, this channel. So even basketball is coming up, cricket is coming up, some big tournaments coming up. So if you're into football, basically everything, make sure to drop a sub and subscribe. And yeah, uh, now, now, let's get into Monday Night Raw. Of course, I didn't see it, so I'm going to read an article. So if I speak, yeah, I'm very professional. Then you know I'm reading off an article because yeah. But I've read a few stuff from the article. What's happened? So yeah. But yeah, let's get into it. This year. So the show opened with Dutchman Day making the entrance, and we got on the mic. Finn Balor talked about how Edge was medically forced to retire and fought back until he was able to come back. Um, but you can only outrun fate for so long, and judgment catches up to us all. And at Extreme Rules is going to act as a cruel hand of fate that reminds Edge that he doesn't belong anywhere near the ring he stands in. And Priest says he is excited to see Finn give Edge a beating so bad, and he has to verbally quit. Because AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio and Balor says he chose not to end AJ's career last week. So Damon Priest calls out AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio, and Balor says he chose not to end AJ's career last week because he's, he is his friend and the olive branch is still extended. Don't make him do bad things or the judgment day will start opening up. AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio run down and lay their youth out before the bell, and we go to the commercial break. So it's not really the best opening segment. Usually you want your opening segment to be captivating, draws um, attention, so viewers basically just um, can't wait to see what happens next. But I would rate the opening show maybe one out of 10, something like that. Um, yeah, if the live chat does disable, it's not me. It's YouTube because they don't want kids doing live streams without parental guidance. So, and of course, JPT is not here. So yeah, yeah. If that happens, apologies to you. Uh, yeah, if, if that happens, then it happens. But yeah, um, yeah. So let's move on. So it leads to the break, and after the commercial break, um, the, the match between or yeah, the match between AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio versus Judgment Day. Is Damon Priest and Finn Balor kicks off. Mysterio eats the seated Saint Don on Balor and follows it up with uh, three jars. Finn and the three Amigos on a comeback, throwing Ray out of the ring to the tender mercies of Damien Priest, who snake ink eyes material right into the apron. Back inside the Finn, Ray gets away, tags, made a Styles sidesteps a boot. Styles rush lights him up, sliding forearm corner. Yeah. Okay, so just basically AJ Styles counter and he attacks Bella and yeah, Pele clears Bella out of the apron, but Damien Priest is able to send AJ flying to the floor, and that sends us to another commercial break. Back from the commercial break, Judgment Day for scissor kick, ink on Styles, and Priest follows it up with a proper TTB. AJ escapes looking for a cough killer, doesn't get it. Um, yeah, and then Rhea Ripley pulls right off the apron. Um, no tag as AJ wanted to tag him. Dominic Mysterio tries to taunt his dad into attacking again. Rhea lays Mysterio and the Idler out of a left and Finn off the top wins it. Judgment Day by pinfall uh, um, from Finn Balor and AJ Styles. So, uh, reading it, it sounds like a decent match. Um, not the best. It sounds like both sides had their opportunities. Of course, AJ encountering the Judgment Day's other members interfering. So yeah, not really anything else to say. But Judgment Day they continue on their run, taking over. Post match, AJ Styles betray asks Rey Mysterio is angry at Rey Mysterio for not being there to save him and shouts the legend to the mat. Judgment Day blindside AJ and beats him down. Finn Balor ranting about being his friend while he punches him in the face. Um, Damien Priest hits south of Heaven, and the commentary hypes up the announcement. Daniel Cormier, of course, I believe that's a boxer or UFC fighter, as a special guest referee for the Fight Pit match at Extreme Rules. Earlier today, Bobby Lashley was interviewed backstage, and he says his legacy is more important and he won't become complacent. It's not the title that makes the man, but the man makes the title, and his mentality doesn't change. He's beaten the best in this industry. He and next he wants somebody of the same muscle and desire he has. Mustafa Ali answers the call. He says He's done waiting and is stepping up to the front of the line for opportunity now. Lashley says if he keeps it up, he will make sure he gets his opportunity, but Ali turns around, and shouts at him, saying, demanding his opportunity. Bobby Lashley gives it to him, and so we go to a break. Interesting that Daniel Cormier, issues. Let me just see. Daniel Cormier, is going. Of course, they were. It was announced he's going into WWE now. Uh, I believe he's, yeah, UFC. Then coming, of course, from UFC, former professional mixed martial artist, amateur wrestler, current commentator for the UFC. Um, yeah, he was also UFC lightweight and heavyweight champion and heavyweight champion. So fair, Daniel Cormier, fair enough for him being the ref. Um, yeah, fair enough for him to be the referee in that match. Yeah. Now after the break, Sami Zayn is excitedly telling a story about dog and a fire extinguisher to cackling Jimmy Uso, and Solo Sikoa tries to keep his face mean. Jey Uso rolls up and asks what's so funny, and Sammy waves it off. Jay says they're here to handle business, and Zayn agrees to defuse the situation. Says he will lead by example and go put some fools on notice ahead of Roman Reigns appearing on next week's Raw season premiere. So it's not going to be live, it's going to be a premiere. They roll up on the Street Profits, and Sammy tells them to be prepared uh, to acknowledge their tribal chief. Montez Ford tells them they don't own the arena, and the bloodline the needs to acknowledge them. Angelo Dawkins cuts him off, and Jay Tree uh, threatens to give Ford another boot to match his walking boot. Angelo threats him. Solo steps up, and Dawkins challenges him to a match, which I believe we will see later on. Just a few stuff that happens backstage, of course. Then we have Bobby Lashley versus Mustafa Ali. Um, this was. I'm not going to go through the match. It was a good match. Yeah. Um, Both had their opportunities. Mustafa Ali, it wasn't a completely squash match. He had these moments like where he landed a super kick and a springboard tornado DTT, which sent Lashley to the floor, um, and also off the ropes with a suicide dive. But this time Bobby Lashley throws him back inside and eats a penalty kick for his trouble, and pulling Mustafa back to the floor and digging him with the right hand that sends back. Yeah, Ali tries to stay in the match, but Bobby Lashley just is too strong for him. Ali had kicked out a few times, and out of the pinfalls from Bobby Lashley, kicked out a few times. And so Bobby Lashley had put on a headlock on Mustafa Ali, um, and he wins by a referee stoppage with the headlock. Oh, So yeah, people who is watching, make sure to smash likes, on this video if you haven't already. Yeah, give your thoughts on what's happened on Raw. We'll get into more of it as we move on. Of course, Bray Wyatt. I think that's one of the main things that came out of um, Raw, and let's get into everything. Um, so yeah, uh, post-match, Steph Rollins says blindsides Bobby Lashley, uh, blackout on the title belt, leaving the ring. Steph hits a blackout on Ali for good measure, and we go to the break. Back from commercial, Seth Rollins is still in the ring, dancing to his own music. Gets on the mic and says that since we have disposed of Bobby Trashley, it's time for Monday Night Rollins. And gives himself a big introduction before talking about his match at Extreme Rules and to, um, tossing to video package about the fight. But that's that's Saturday. No, that's Saturday, and tonight wants to call Matt Roller out so he can get pissed off in person. Of course, Matt Roller faces Seth Rollins, I believe. They bicker. Seth reminds him the match is off if he makes contact. Roller says he's not just going to fight him and beat him, he's gonna kill him on Saturday. Daniel Cormier will raise his hand and victory, and the fans will sing for him. So, of course, the fans sing for him now over Rollins' objections. Um, so, bit of interesting to see what happens there. But Riddle and Seth Rollins. Daniel Cormier is a Seth Rollins fan, though Cormier and Riddle came from the same world, and he's gonna make the right call. Ronstein picks the scrap of Matt's family, mocking him for not being able to see his kids anymore. Seth begs him to eat him, and Riddle says his breath stinks. So just they bicker for a little while. Um, and they scream at each other more, and Daniel Cormier appears on the throne. He says, "We've had time to watch them whine and argue and complain for months now. We have tried, we are tired of the foolishness." Introduces uh, himself as one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time, and says he and Riddle go back, and he respects that. Seth knows he's always admiring him, and he celebrated when he won his first world title. But he's fed up. He lives in the cage. He loves it, but there can't be any old referee. That's why they call ODC, to make sure it goes right. We'll see them both in Philadelphia. Rose storms out and Riddle plays to the crowd. Candice LeRae is walking backstage when she runs into Bianca Belair, wishes her luck as we go to a break. Of course, a match is coming up next. Back from commercial, the Miz is on the phone with Maurice and she's not getting off the phone until he gets assurance that something is done. Sure, his birthday celebration goes off without a hitch and without Dexter Loomis in play, all while Dexter Loomis lurks behind the door. So yeah, um, the Miz is they just can't win. And now we have Candice Ray versus Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai goes behind and shoves the Ray at the ropes before hiding. Candice gets a backslide and for a near fall and then locks a kneeling armbar on, falling out of a drop kick. Dakota sidesteps as shoulder tries, gets put into turnbox. And then they just have gain near falls and they attack each other. And yeah, Yoshika and Bailey run interferes and Dakota Kai rolls Candice LeRae up. Dakota Kai wins by pinfall with a breaching folding press. Backstage, Messi snapping on a rope case when Johnny Gargano pokes him. He wakes up and clutches Dexter Loomis, drawing off the two of them together, scrambles off to send us to the break. So yeah, again, not really anything. It's going to be interesting to see what happens of the Ray Kai those um, factions again facing off. It's going to be interesting to see what happens and everything. Yeah, not really anything else to say. Bobby Lashley has been decent so far on the Raws. There's a short match that the Dakota guy won. Um, back from commercial, Bailey's interviewed backstage and talks about how she's got weapons like the Dakota Kai and Yusa Kai at her side for a reason. We got graphic for Antonio in Wookie. Don't know who that is, but yeah. Johnny Gargano versus Otis, of course, is the next match. But let's get into some comments. Um, I'm glad the live chat is not put off it. So we go. So yeah, Raw was good last night. Yeah, it was. Most Roman fan by Elias at home. Um, Bailey will become new Women's Raw champion. Who's the current order? Is it what is it? Who's it? Yeah, just tell me quickly in the chat to it, please. Yeah, big up everyone. Keep smashing that like button. Mm, yeah, 9 likes. Big up everyone. Let's get to a few more likes. Um, 15 is of course every stream's target. So I think of WWE, it's a bit less because I need to build up the I'm going to just wait is not okay. But I will just continue. But, so yeah, Johnny Gargano versus Otis, of course. Also again leading into the big fight or again to Extreme Rules. Austin Fury's on commentary for this one. I absolutely hate Austin Fury. He's so annoying. Um, yeah, Charles Francis Raw was good last night. Mm, of what I've read now going through, it seems alright. Yeah, Gargano attacks Otis. He has his spell, but and does some few of his moves. Otis lands the back fist on second try, and cross face strikes in the corner, scoop and a slam. Gunner fighting out of the corner, shoulder thrust Johnny with later Gunner fights out of the corner, and then he does a few of his moves. Otis then destroys him with a belly to belly suplex. The Gunner rolls away from the fader bomb um, but, to the floor. Then a big military press reversed into a DTT, um, and to the floor suicide dive. Johnny jumps Fury and beats him down in the corner, diving DDT to the floor. Awesome blindsides him with a briefcase, and Otis takes advantage, and Otis wins by pinfall of the world's strongest slam. Post match, they use beat Gargano down, and Braun, Braun Strowman runs out to make the save, and he demands a match. Braun Strowman, and this leads to Braun Strowman versus Chad Gable. So that's Edge's match. Again, it's not a best match, but it's okay. Yeah, it is what it is. Not the best match, not the greatest match, but yeah, again, it leads to Braun Strowman's Chad Gable. It's just, I think, with Raw, it's just so. Why don't they have this like planned? Okay, then. Now they have all these um, impromptu matches, you can say. Braun Strowman running, or what's it? Mustafa Ali going backstage to Bobby Lashley saying like, "Yo, I want a match," and then this match. Come on, just a bit. It's irritating, but yeah. Now, Strowman throws Gable out of the ring, and we go to the break. Back from commercial, Gable is waiting for Strowman to rise from behind the announcers, and a big knee sends Braun into the ring post. Back inside, Chad lights on him with a vicious knees. Punches to show the near fall, punches grabbing Braun by the beard. Wicked right hand, and Montel Fontosius, Porter, and Omos is watching backstage. Oh, Montel, Porter, and Omos is watching backstage. Braun Strowman up top. Gable reverses his moves off the ropes. A basement drop kick puts Braun Strowman down, and a moonsault nobody home. Of course, a moonsault by Chad Gable, and Braun rolls away, and then Braun just uh, kicks him with a big boot, getting Chad. Can Chad Gable get up? Nope. And Braun Strowman wins by pinfall with a power bomb. Um, it's a bit of a squash match, let's be honest. Not been a long one. It's just been like 2 seconds, so yeah. And now backstage, Bianca Belair is walking backstage. She sends us to break, and the medic checks on Bobby Lashley, and he waves him off. Don't know what that means. Uh, interview An interview rolls up, and Bobby Lashley says he's gonna finish Seth Rollins off next week, um, with the title on the line. I mean, wow, title on the line, Seth Rollins. Corey Graves is in the ring to preside over the contract signing of the Raw Women's Championship match. Bailey meets her interest followed shortly by Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair. And then they just go back and forth. Um, Sign a contract. But since Bailey likes planning, she can plan on still calling her the Raw. Bailey asks how it goes. Cut to them beating. Bailey asks us is Bianca how our girls are doing, and we cut to them beating Oscar and Alexa Bliss up. Backstage, Bianca runs back to make the shave and tries the chair of Oscar's knee. Prize the chair of Oscar's knee. Furious Alexa Bliss fumes and calls Io Sky. Io Sky. Uh, for match tonight again. I don't like this. Just calling them out in this match. Come on. And we go to a break. And after that, the commentators uh, hypes up tomorrow's night NXT and Extreme Rules card. And then we have Angelo Dawkins with Sadaskoa, of course. A match that was again just interrupted. Um, and this was a bit of a long match, of course. I think side, both teammates helped out um, them, um, everyone. Yeah, I'm not going to go through the matches long. And yeah, Sammy at the end, Solo's Co wins by pinfall with a spinning solo. I think you have to let him win to build up that. I think of of the tribal chief, they they group they yet to round up. So yeah, Austin Theory is talking with Otis about how he's gonna kick Johnny Gargano's ass, and we go to the break. Back from commercial, Edge cuts a promo. He says the vile character has been dropped and he's been pretty transparent since he came back at the age of 37. Um, he says the vile character has been dropped. He's been pretty transparent since he came back at the age of 37. He was told um, he was done with no choice, but he made it a choice by the time he was 64. It was difficult, and it's got only gotten out. He loves this. What's what's become harder is that it is just not taking. It's not just taking a toll on him, but on his entire family. Um, oh yeah. It's harder to hide it from the girls when they can hear him coming down the stairs like a symphony of bones wrecking, but maybe more difficult is seeing the doubt and fear in Bev's eyes and knowing that she thinks that there is no way he comes out of this in one piece. And maybe it's stubborn and selfish, but you need to be succeed at this level in business. It's gonna give Judgment Day credit. They've made it more difficult. No matter how many times beats him, they get back up, and it's getting harder for him to put his his pieces back together. It's his fault Judgment Day even exists, and he knows what he has to do when his back is against the wall. Has to be a one man gang. There's no way he will be made to say he quits. Commentary hypes up next week's show, and Alexa Bliss makes the entrance and sends us to the back. Of course, Alexa Bliss Sky. Now, before I go further on to that match, I like that promo from um what do you call it, from Edge. I like it. It's a good promo. Um, yeah, I it's it's a good promo. At HK, and I like them being so break character, you can almost say, and so, and I think Edge has always been like that one person that has done that. Yeah, Charles Spencer's Strowman is so boring. That's the same thing again and again. I like Strowman, but I wish he was just booked better. If he was booked better, then he would be. So yeah, been expecting to come back Saturday. We're going to get onto that. We're just going to some more of the match. I just want to see. They don't show it. Oh, on this article I have, they don't show it. Wait. Let me just search White Rabbit teasers. Teasers. Raw. Mm, okay, we're going to that, but yeah. Um, uh, be up. The podcast is just fun. Likes meeting people. Bray Wyatt's catchphrase. Be up, man. Teases. Be up and off, Matt. Big up yourself. Hi, Chelsea fans. It's Matt. Yeah, be up yourself, Matt. Yeah, yeah. Need to get you on the show, Chelsea show, for one time. Long time. I since I do on, but yeah. Now, of course, the go the go home show match was, of course, Alexa Bliss versus Io Shirai. This was a good matchup. Io Shirai, of course, wins. I think it's a shock victory, but yet you have to have like that. They were beat up in the night. You have to have like them come back and so yeah. Post match, damage control attack Alexa Bliss and beats her down, sliding a ladder in the ring. Bianca Belair fighting vitally to save her pal, but she eats the ladder. Alexa Oscar hobbles down the ramp with a kendo stick in hand and nails Kai with it. Io hits its drop kick, and she and Dakota drop the ladder and Oscar's back. Bailey slams it on her again. They open the ladder and sit Alexa Bliss in it before kicking both eyes to sandwich in the steel. Kai lands the corner, boots on Bianca. Bailey eats a rose plant and damage control. Climb the ladder and hold all three titles high. That's the show, people. That's the show. I would give the show 6 out of 10, not a best. Yeah, being nice. um, yeah, I haven't really been in your streams. I need to watch more of your streams. I just don't have time. Um, I need to uh, listen to more of your streams. I need to. But yeah, 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 for sure. Now let's get into Bray Wyatt teasers. Uh, yeah, let's get into teasers. Rabbit teaser this week on Raw. Multiple hints people on Twitter have been investigating its meaning. Many fans have clues seemingly pointing at Bray Wyatt. Um, Malka, Malachi Black, and a strange image from Italy. From the look of things, sports teasers and meanings, there was a girl on coach in the middle of the screen, and it was linked to this video. This that this video. So now let's.
Who killed you? You did. Head.
Yeah, so that was of course last week. Right. And Coordinates noted at the end happened to belong to Corbin, Kentucky, but what the connection, the specific location is. It was a town that WWE happened to go through for live events. Um, Bray Wyatt defended the Universal title against Mysterio. So yeah, it was also noted that White's last match for the Fiend was against Corbin. However, there might be something more interesting. Van ran it through the source code, found the words "No man is really good" and "No man is really evil," which happens to the first two lines of Alistair Black's WWE song theme song. It should be further noted that obtained from the QR code on Raw linked directly to the subbing image of Bunny art in Italy. Hmm? But they don't tell us what was stuff tonight. Right? That's just all last week. I want this week's clues. Mm, let me just see. I want this week's. I thought it was 7 hours ago. I just, let's maybe watch a video on it. It's linked there. Yes, whichever. He's gonna punch us. Yeah, let me share my screen. Watch his video. See. Let's see.
Rabbit cryptic clue decoded video. This, of course, for the clue that was on WWE Raw. There is so much to go through. This is so detailed, so complicated, so deep. We've got loads. I've got so many images and so much to talk to you about. It's going to be a little bit complicated. And it was really complicated for me to gather this information, put it all in this video, and try and explain the journey that we went on as we were finding this information out. So a massive shout out to everyone that sent things through. You know that I really appreciate it. And I was getting sent a lot of the same information, so I know many people sent this through. So a big thank you to everyone. Let's get into it anyway, because there's loads to talk about. So this obviously is the QR code. I'm never very good at getting a good screenshot of the QR code as it appears. This was the best I could get. But basically it appears during the Ask Alexa, very interesting, Bianca and Candice LeRae backstage segment. And so it appears on screen. When you scanned it, it took you to this image now. There was 3 parts to this. This was the top part. It was an image. And what was interesting about this image is that if you watched it and viewed it on mobile devices, the right-hand side would reveal a code. If it took you to this image to talk about.
Let me scan it. Let me see. Can I scan it? What? Okay.
So this obviously is the Candice LeRae. There was 3 parts to this. This was the top part. It was an image. And what was interesting about this image is that if you watched it and viewed it on mobile devices, the right-hand side would reveal a code. If you did it on desktop, the left-hand side revealed a code, and we'll talk about that code later. So this was the top part. It's actually Samson and Delilah, and that is very interesting. It's a little bit the theme, if you will, of this clue seems to be Samson and Delilah. And that is all about betrayal. And actually it connects to a Bray Wyatt tweet that we will look at later on in this video. So that was the top part. When you scroll down, you got this. You got a middle section that had lots of red boxes. That would turn out to be Predator language. And we will obviously see what that is when it's decoded later in the video. And this magic eye, which again, we will decode. Shout out to Bazza, who found out that magic eye reveals the code MTA 4MJI. So that's what was hidden there. And again, we'll have a look as to what that leads to and what that means in a second. Just going back to the top. So this is an example of the code that was hidden. So that's one part of the code. The other part is underneath the right-hand side. And again, you needed to look at this on a mobile device to reveal that right-hand side. Now, what's really cool about this is that code, when it is complete, is a URL. You can put it into your web browser. It will take you to another image. And we will look at that image in a second. But these are also coordinates. The 399012N on its own, that is one half of a coordinate. The other bit that's hidden under the right-hand side, that's another coordinate. When you put them both in and search the coordinates, it gives you this. It leads you to the Wells Fargo Center. That is where Extreme Rules is taking place. So already we are getting a pointer towards Extreme Rules. So that was really cool. I love how this doubles up. So if you put the whole thing into a web browser, it takes you to an image. If you just take those two strips of numbers and put them into coordinates, you get this as well. So very, very clever. So this is the other image that it takes you to when you put the whole thing into a web browser. This is another Samson and Delilah picture. You can see the number at the bottom, 6901209258022. Once you actually put that into a Google search, it leads you to our next picture, which is this, and this is White Rabbit Milk. Now, I really like this. I really like this because, feed your head. Like, feed your head has been a big theme, and White Rabbit Milk kind of connects to that. The other thing as well is that Bray tweeted out not long ago, "Be patient, baby birds, I'll feed you soon, baby birds." And milk just makes me think of that, because if you think like milk is what babies get, and that's like what calves get, and so there's something very maternal about milk. And so, yeah, it just kind of connects to that for me. So I thought that was very clever. It's worth mentioning that I think the URL of that second image, that when you actually decoded it, that was decoded as Gacy. So you can see that we then went to Joe Gacy's Twitter account. So we had a look at Joe Gacy's Twitter account, and what's interesting is, first of all, his profile picture has got the eyes crossed out of it, just like the pictures in the Fun House. Don't know how long that had been that way. Certainly no one's mentioned it or noticed it before. No one sent me that before. So I don't know if he changed that whilst Raw was on air, but that was very interesting. And then his most recent tweet, which only got tweeted out a few hours before Raw, said, "Since we're in the last 8 episodes of The Walking Dead, I would like everyone to know that I knocked and they didn't let me in." How interesting is that? His most recent tweet has got the line "let me in" it, which I just think is absolutely fascinating. So, yeah, Gacy could mean a couple of different things. Obviously, there was John Wayne Gacy, who was like a murderer, a known serial killer. But, of course, you've got Joe Gacy down in NXT at the moment. And then, as we said, you go to his recent Twitter activity. He's got a profile picture with the eyes scratched out, just like the Funhouse. And then he's got this post, which I thought was very interesting. There is the binary code being decoded. A shout out to Bale3X for working out that Gacy from the URL. So I thought that was very interesting. Right, let's move on to the magic eye, right? So the magic eye, you might remember, again, the clue had 3 separate parts. We've kind of looked at the URLs of the pictures. We've found the coordinates. We found the barcode that took us to the White Rabbit Milk. That was the top part. And the pictures were Samson and Delilah. Now, if we go down to the bottom, as we said earlier, Bazza found out that it was MTA4MJI in that magic eye. Again, if you put it into a decoder, you actually then get 10822. That is the date of Extreme Rules, which is amazing. It's amazing. So it looks like the magic eye basically leads you to the date of Extreme Rules. So everything is pointing to Extreme Rules. We've got coordinates for Extreme Rules. We've got the date for Extreme Rules. Everything is pointing to Extreme Rules.
How they have done this is absolutely incredible.
Ryan Satin also continued and spoke about the painting, saying that Samson painting was chosen by God. Samson was blessed with superhuman strength that made him invincible as long as the hair on his head remained unshorn. When he told this secret to his Philistine wife Delilah, he was captured and blinded, and his hair was cut. This is really interesting, because it does connect to a Bray Wyatt tweet. You can see the tweet on screen right now. This was sent out once Alexa
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, we are wrestling this. This video are so good. Yeah. Okay, let me make this unmute. Then
See, April back in 2021, he sent out this tweet of Samson and Delilah, and you can see that it's all about betrayal, just like he was betrayed by Alexa at WrestleMania. So even the Samson and Delilah picture connects to an old Bray tweet, and that connects to his relationship with Alexa. Shout out to Jake Campbell for sending that through. So that was that part. So that was decoded. We also
I'm back.
just started to get people saying, "Did you notice a noise?" Now, I must admit, I don't have the noise queued up to play. I can't hear anything in the noise. It was very, very quiet. I do need to go back and listen to that. But there's a lot of people telling me it does sound like a noise from the Firefly Funhouse. So when the QR code drops, there is a noise. There's also some static, and there's also some interference. So we need to have a look at that next, because if you screenshot at a certain point, you can actually see what looks to be the fiend behind Alexa. So again, this is when the QR code drops at the very start. You get what they think is a noise that's connected to the funhouse. You get a bit of static, and everyone seems to be quite fixated on this image behind Alexa, which absolutely could be something, might be nothing, might just be a pattern in the static, but definitely worth noting.
Everyone loves U.S. products, but they are not available or...
Right, the middle part, we still need to translate the middle part of that initial message. So again, the top part, the Samson and Delilah picture, bottom part was the Magic Eye. The middle part, that was Predator language. So shout out to Ronnie. So Predator language, it translates as before me, things created were none, save things eternal, and eternal I endure, all hope abandon ye who enter here. This obviously is taken from Dante's Inferno, and we've been speaking about that and the connections to that in previous clues. So once again, connecting to Dante's Inferno, which is very, very interesting. Shout out to Urban Goth, who pointed out that Predator could also connect to Autumn, who is the, the apex predator. And so, like, the Predator language might connect to Autumn as well. But the biggest connection is to Dante's Inferno. And you might remember that Abandon All Hope Ye Who Enter Here. That was on the door to the Firefly Funhouse. It was also used during the Swamp match as well. And it did appear in a previous clue. This shout out to WWE Jake, who put Gacy and Alice in Wonderland into Google. This image came back, which is really cool, really sinister. So I thought that was very, very clever, having a look at that and putting that into Google. Then we started to get some other things happening as well. So that was pretty much the clue decoded. We've decoded the top part, we've decoded the middle part, we've decoded the Magic Eye, we've decoded the URLs, so lots of interesting stuff there. It's worth mentioning that also there was something else hidden in the source code, efficient 4696. Haven't quite been able to crack that. I have been told that that might just be something that needs to be there. That might not be a clue, but definitely still something for people to look into. Efficient 4696 was hidden. It was highlighted in green, and it was hidden in the source code. But yes, that was pretty much the clue decoded. And then we got a few other things happening during the show. So here you can see when this image went up at the strap match, look at the static behind Karrion Kross. That's very, very interesting. That static is not behind anyone else, but it's behind Karrion Kross. So thought that was worth including. Then we got this during the show as well. So during the show, like during Alexa's main event match, it was Alexa against Io Sky. The screen just went purple, just went pink. And I thought that was very interesting as well. We were waiting for the lights to go out or something like that. I did wonder if this was just a transmission problem, but everyone got it. It wasn't just BT Sport. I think this was intentional, and that happened during the main event. Also got this sent this by Julia. You can see a fan right in the center during the contract signing. This was just before the main event. Fan putting on a Fiend mask. And it was kind of interesting that this fan had not been wearing it, and then when Corey Graves holds up the QR code, it's around that same time the fan decides to put the mask back on. Now that seriously could be nothing more than a fan. Could be nothing more than a fan, but there was plenty that was playing out in the crowd tonight as well. Lots to look out for in the crowd, like this sign right here. Again, might be a fan, might not be WWE connected, but that sign says White Rabbit. When you scramble the letters, it actually reads Bray Wyatt. That's actually one that we pointed out before. We've been sent that on Twitter before, and that's been included in one of our previous videos. So that we have touched on that. So that could be a fan. That could be a fan, but it could also be WWE planting it there. And as well as the guy that had the Fiend mask on, there was quite a few Lily dolls in the crowd. There was also another.
There, the guy has the Fiend mask. Well, you see, look there. Look. There's the Fiend mask. I think that's a
the White Rabbit sign in the crowd, black sign with the rabbit on. Again, it's hard to know if these are fans bringing these signs, or is this WWE planting people there. So yeah, that's everything. That's the clue decoded.
Now this is. Do you guys see? What else is there? Where the mouse is? Also the Fiend mask. Forget that. There. Now if we go back, let's just go back. Let's same. Let's just look. The same girl and wait, man and girl, man and woman is sitting next to. They have done this absolutely well. Shout out to wrestling guys. Shout out to yourselves, mate. Well done. And be up everyone who's watched the stream. I know this has been a bit longer. Big up everyone. 40 minutes I will be on T-Boys TV doing Game Week 9 review. Big up everyone. Cheers. Hope you have a good day. Cheers.